What's up, guys? This is Gabe from S&P Speed Innovations, and today we're going to do some valve shimming, valve lashing, as a matter of fact. And what we're doing is going through the valve shims and adjusting the shims and everything so that we can get them within a proper range. What you see here is a Toyota 3RZ, 2RZs, 3RZs, 5VZs, any of the Toyota engines that basically have the same bucket design that is not hydraulic. This kind of works for the same thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this camshaft real quick. Now, what we've done, we've already lashed it. We've already checked the lash and everything. And as you can see here, we have all of our feeler gauges out. We start off at a thou and a half. We go all the way up to about 16 thousandths. Is that we initially roll the motor up to TDC, and if you already have this in the vehicle and everything's already attached, you're pulling the valve cover off. You're doing this for the first time. You do want to bring this up at top dead center and make sure all your timing marks is where it's supposed to be. Now, when you go to remove the cams and you're doing your valve lash and you're going to be spinning the cams like I am, remember, when you turn the cams, you're opening the valves, opening and closing the valves. And if you bring this to top dead center, number 1 and 4 is going to be up. And your valves are probably going to start hitting your pistons as you're doing it. And you feel like it's getting tight, you're going to think it's valve spring, and it's probably not. What it is the valve head is actually hitting a piston. So I rotate the motor either back or forward, one way or the other. Just rotate a little bit from top dead center. Just get the pistons down a little bit. This way you can spin the camshaft around. The valves are opening and the valve heads are not hitting the pistons. So don't forget to do that part. And we go through and we make sure that all the base circles are for what we're measuring. We'll make sure that, we've got the base circles down and the lobes are facing up. If we need to rotate the motor around, we typically use a 1-inch wrench. Now this is a cast iron camshaft, so you'll see some of these are really loose, some of them are not. So we'll make sure that the one that we're looking at, the one that we're going to measure, cam lobes are straight up. So we'll start off the small one. Thou and a half, 3 thousandths, 4 thousandths. So that's going to be a 3. We know that one's good. All the rest of them have check marks. That one is 4 thousandths, so we know that one's good. So now what we're going to do before we take the camshaft out, we're going to rotate this so that nothing is pushing down like that one. We don't want the lobes facing downwards. We want to try to get the camshaft relaxed as much as possible. Now the first one and the only one you're going to take off as an individual is going to be the front one. I'll take this off here. Okay. The reason why we do this one first while the camshaft is still in there and locked pretty flat is because this is the one that the thrust rides on, front to rear, and inside basically a saddle of the camshaft, number 1 journal roughly. And if you release all these and do this one last, it kind of wedges itself inside that opening against the cam or the cam cap. Basically wedges itself into the cam cap. So from there, go ahead and bust all these loose. I just loosen them all up. We don't take one off. We loosen them all up first. When we come back, when you loosen a little bit more, a little bit more. You want to do this easily and gradually because there is still some spring pressure on it. You don't want it to come off like completely sideways. I'm going to cheat here. I'm not taking too much off. Make sure it's all nice and loose. The cam caps are loose. We can get after it and just take them all off now. Make sure you keep this in order. There is numbers on them, so you cannot put them on backwards unless you're not paying attention. Take this and just set it right there. Now we'll get our shims ready and we'll put a new shim in it and we'll double check our lash and make sure we're right where we need to be. Hopefully if we did the math right, that'll be just a simple change. We did try to use this tool right here, but that tool just didn't work for us. So we came up with this calculator here and there's a little bit of math applied, but when we use this we can see what our shim size is. So when we first put shims into the cam followers or the buckets, we put that number, the thickness of it here. We actually measure it with some micrometers or calipers if they're decent enough. And then what we do is we measure our valve shims. We put that number in here. This is what we measured. This is our target. Intake cam on a 2RZ, 3RZ is 6 to 10 thousandths of an inch. So we pick for the middle, shoot for the middle. This gives us the error. So as we can see on this one, we have an error of 1 thousandths and 3 thousandths and 1, 1, 1, 0, all the way down. So it's pretty good. This is the one we're going to adjust. It is a little bit on the tight side with 5 thousandths. So we do some math here. It's pretty simple. And by putting these numbers in here, we leave the targets alone. We put our measured valve lash in there. And then we also have our shim size here. And what it does is it tells us the approximate size that it should be. Pretty neat. Pretty cool. So if you want to look at the math on that, we'll click on that one, for example. Right there is your math. Your recommended shim thickness. So a little bit of work to it, set this up. But once you do it, it's pretty simple. It's easier than writing it down. I used to write it down and I had to go through a bunch of paper doing it over and over and over again. So this is actually a pretty easy way to do it. If this is something you guys want to see, let me know. I can see if I can put it on the website for you guys and something that you guys can grab. It is a spreadsheet. We use Google spreadsheet for everything. So this is part of our engine build setup. Easiest thing you want to do though when you're doing valve lash is you want to take all your feeler gauges out. We start off at 1.5 thousandths, go all the way up to 16 thousandths. And it's just easier. You just grab one, slide it in, check your lash. If it's good to go, it's good to go. That's it. Pop this one out here. This one measured a little bit tight. Just a little nice worn out screwdriver we've got there. That's a 3.10 millimeter. You're gonna put a 3.05 millimeter. So it's just gonna be a little bit thinner there. Put the numbers down, this way we don't wear the numbers off. We can always see what size they are in the future. Make sure it snaps all the way in there. Like we talked about before, you want the camshaft to be relaxed. So you don't want to push down on any lobes. You don't want it kicking up all over the place. And as we were taking it out is the opposite of how we're putting it in. That means is that number one cam cap will be the last one that goes in. I2, I3, I4, I5. Intake. Still not going to put that one in yet. I know we used the tool to take them out, but I never used the tool to put them in. I want to put that much pressure on it. Down just until it touches the cap. We just kind of creep up to it. We don't get too carried away. We don't hammer it down. It's even worse when you get into the higher pressure valve springs. Those things will have a lot of spring pressure, a lot of big power turbo builds, and that'll just start bending the camshaft, and it will flex, but it's not really supposed to, so let's not encourage that to happen. Now, there's a torque on this, and right now we're going to take these back out when we're done, so I'm not too concerned about the torque. All the threads have been lubricated, all of the friction surfaces like underneath the bolts, those have all been lubricated with assembly lube, so we can have these on and off a bunch of times. It's not really wearing anything out. Now this goes on last. Reason for that is because you can see it just kind of drops right in there. There's no pressure on it. It's not kicking the thrust sideways or anything like that. Kind of rotate this around so this way we can get the shim to set in there. I don't know if you can see when I was working on it, putting the shim in, but we don't really put any oil or lubricant between the shim and the cam follower or bucket. We do that for a reason. We don't want to give us a false reading by what's underneath it. All right, this will be the last one. Bring this straight up. Now, we'll start off with the 1.5 thou. Remember, this one was a little bit on the tight side, so we had to loosen it. It was 3 thousandths, if I remember right. There's 3. There's 4. So far, so good. As long as we're above 7, or above 6, actually. If we're above 6 and below 10, we'll be in good shape. So there's 6. I can feel some tension on it, so that's probably going to be 6. The 7 will not go. So that's 6 thousandths. So that is the minimum. And I could make one more adjustment to get it a little bit closer. That last adjustment was 3 thousandths. And we may be in that situation where it could have been 3.5 thousandths, so we moved it 2.5, right? So it gives us 6. It could have been a situation like that. So if we take the gamble and do it again, will that make it 8 or 9, with 10 being loose? So I'd rather be a little bit on the tight side than a little bit on the loose side on the intake side. The exhaust is a little different. We'd rather be a little bit loose on the exhaust because the valve seat and the exhaust valve has a lot of heat on it. And the longer it sits on the seat, the more heat it dissipates into the longer the valve sits on the seat, the more it dissipates heat out of the valve and into the casting of the cylinder head. So that was a little more important because of the heat. But for the most part, I think we're good at that. So we had 6 thousandths in there, and that actually fit really nice. I like that. Some good drag to it, so we're good. You can get a 6 in, can't get a 7. It's obviously a 6. So that's it. Pretty simple. We'll go ahead and put this in a relaxed state here because I still have one more to go. That's it for now. So it's pretty simple. I know we didn't do every single one of them, but kind of got the idea. Use your feeler gauges there. You check the gap in between is all you're really doing, and remove it. Measure what you had, do the math, and figure out what you need, and put it together. And you may have to change this one 2 or 3 times. You may have to change that one twice. You may have to change these ones once. Sometimes it's like that, sometimes it's not. So it's pretty simple, nothing too technical. So all we got for today is this basics of how to do your valve lash. That's basically how we do it. Make sure the cams are in a relaxed state when you put them out. When you put them in, make sure they're in a relaxed state, one at a time. So that's it. Stay tuned, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good day. So that's it. We got the valve lash all wrapped up and ready to go. We got one more side to go, and that's about it. So don't forget to do all the stalker stuff. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that cool stalker stuff. We need that. And if you like content like this and you like more, drop a comment. Let us know what else you'd like to see. We're going to try to get more how-to videos out there. Hopefully we can get more stuff out there to help you guys out. And you guys are trying to put some components in. If there's parts on our website you can't find, let us know. We'll see if we can find them. If we can't get them for you, chances are I have an option to get them. It's just not on our website yet. So valve train, stuff like that, you need something, give us a holler. Check out our website, snpspeed.com. Give us a call, 928-854-1320, or drop us an email, tunedbygabe@gmail.com. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a great day.